players who are award winners, and they're carrying on a fine tradition. As I look at them and I think back, really, none of us would be here at all right now if it weren't for the man we're paying tribute to tonight. He started the Commercial Music and Jazz Studies program here on the campus of California State University, Long Beach. A remarkable vision and a remarkable man, and we're going to be hearing a lot of stories about him, playing his music, but most of all, carrying on his legacy. And I remember when I first met him, he was leading the band here. The radio station had just moved onto campus, and he came over and introduced himself to me, and immediately we became good friends. And the thing I remember most about that time was the fact that he had all these award-winning ensembles. He had not only his concert, or what was then the Studio Jazz Ensemble 1, but also the vocal jazz that he had started, and they were also winning awards, as they are still today with Christine Guter. So it's all thanks to the one man, John Prince, that we're all here tonight. Well, there are quite a number of players who grew up in the John Prince bands in high school and also in college, and quite a number of them are here, as you have noticed, and there are others, but there were some that couldn't make it tonight and so wanted to, and they have sent some testimonials, which, if you'll bear with me, I will read. I'm sure not as well as they would, but they're such nice stories. I wanted to share them with you. Bassist Jay Anderson, who is now living back east, wrote this about his time with John Prince. The thing I remember most about John was his unabashed passion and joy for the music. It was infectious. He understood the importance of making us aware of and respectful of the jazz continuum while nurturing our individuality. He gave us the confidence to play beyond our means. He was truly a pioneer in jazz education, and I am forever grateful for his generosity of spirit. John Prince. And composer Dave Metzger has also said, I first met John a few days before my freshman year at Long Beach State University. I had been born and raised in a small town in Oregon, and as you might expect, I was experiencing a good deal of culture shock. Although my main interests were in the areas of composing and arranging, I was also a bass player. I figured that I would be able to get into one of the jazz bands, which would provide me with an avenue for my charts to be played. I remember showing up for the rhythm section auditions that day only to find that there were 9 other bassists trying out for a total of 4 slots, the 3 bands and the vocal jazz ensemble. I also vividly remember the shock of hearing players the likes of John Patitucci and John Heddle take their turns playing in the open auditions and thinking, oh my God. At that point, I knew there was no way that I would make it into any of the groups, but John believed I had potential as a writer. The previous summer, I had sent him a bunch of my big band and vocal jazz charts, and he had taken the time to go through them. In order to keep me in the program, he put me in the vocal jazz choir. I think John instructed the sound man to turn my mic completely off during the concerts. Clearly, he had thrown me a lifeline when there was no obligation or reason for him to do so. During my awkward first year at Long Beach State, I was overcome by the incredible graciousness and hospitality that John and his wonderful wife, Coralie, afforded me. John and his family became my home away from home. When I look back and think about it, John Prince was one of the most influential people in my life. Without his kindness and support, I wouldn't have gone on to enjoy a successful career. He was a remarkable and remarkably complex man. I am most thankful and fortunate that he became such a large part of my life. Dave Metzger and Jay Anderson with Memories of John Prince.